Hey guys, it's Major Foley here, and we're up to the penultimate episode of the Norman campaign, the Siege of Rochester, where we're doing the sieging this time instead of the defending. Now, this level isn't too difficult. Things do happen that can be a bit random though. Like, a couple of the secondary objectives you have to do. Sometimes the ferocity of the guards is more, like, they have more guards for, like, one of the secondary objectives. Sometimes they'll attack your base from a different direction. But these are all within the realm of possibility, and this strategy should deal with all of that to begin with. Without further ado, let's get started.
In the year prior to the defense of Dover, King John's defiance of the Magna Carta had mired England in a rebellion known as the First Barons' War. Across England, barons broke ties with the crown and seized important cities, including Rochester. With his reign under threat, John deployed his forces to retake Rochester and capture the traitors.
Castle at Rochester had fallen to rebel control. King John had to lay siege against his own barons. Alright, so once we get into the fight, we just need to raid the village, first village ahead of us.
King John's men arrived at the outskirts of Rochester, set to retake the castle and drive out the rebel barons within. But Rochester was a formidable fortress that protected the route to London, and the rebel barons were prepared to lay down their lives to hold it. Before King John's
Select your units and attack move in.
The castle, they would need to reinforce their position by capturing the village of Chatham.
Take out your enemy. So once you take out all the military, this village will become yours. Now, as you can see, there are sacred sites on this map, as well as relics. These will start generating us passive gold, 100 a minute, which doesn't tick over every minute. It does tick over every, like, 10 seconds, I think, or so. Or close to that. But yes, they don't tick at a minute per rate, so you don't get like 100 gold after the minute. You'll see when we get our first ones. Alright. Build a monastery here and build economic buildings so you don't have to walk all the way.
Rochester's keep was protected by strong stone walls.
Get a second scout and start training villages.
Mighty siege weapons to break through.
There are a lot of sheep on this map, and we're going to make use of them. Keep your main military up here. And you'll start with 2 monks. I'll sometimes call them priests, just because I'm used to calling them priests from Age of Mythology. Send your first monk to capture the sacred site, and send your second one up here to capture your first relic. Once your second scout's out, send him up here to get where the other relic is, as well as the other sacred site. And there's, like I said, there's a bunch of sheep, and we're going to be collecting a lot of them. So, collect the chest, and then collect the relic. To capture the sacred site, a monk just has to be in the sacred site's AoE, and you'll be fine. Get a couple of stables when you can afford to get them, and we're going to start training knights out of these, once our resources are satisfactory to do so. If you see wolves, take them out with your scouts, because your monks are going to be traveling through the forest and you don't want to lose them. Alright, so send the monk to go get this relic over here. And once you get enough stone, build another town center. So we can kickstart our economy into overdrive. We'll have 4 on stone should be enough for us to generate what we need. There's a bit more sheep over here. And there's a neutral party to our left, where it's also we're going to deal with our secondary objective. Where we have to kill 6 traitors. And once we do that, they'll drop us a lot of resources. which is handy for us. Like stone, etc. Monks will walk slower with the relics. Please keep that in mind, guys. So they'll walk very, very slow. So it'll take a while to get back to base, essentially, with them. Right, with all that sheep, we're going to bring it all back. We can start harvesting from them. Now, the cool thing about this mission is that we can get nearly every upgrade that we want in this mission. But we probably won't, because it's not strictly necessary. Now, another thing to keep in mind, guys, the second point of attack that they come from is here, so I would suggest training some men-at-arms to help at least delay that attack in that direction, or just bring your army if the attack does happen. Walling off's not a good idea, as far as I'm concerned. You can do that if you want, but it's not really necessary. I think it's just a waste of resources to do so. Once you have enough stone, build the second town center up here, and put them back on stone. Keep training knights. We want about 15 to 20 before we start attacking the traders over here.
King John's men came to St. Margaret's Monastery. Although the monks would not take sides, they would provide medical care for wounded soldiers.
The last relic.
The local market was also open to trade with Chatham.
Very expensive,
King
these
John's
knights.
forces were struck by a raiding group of rebels sallying from the castle.
Sheep to collect. So luckily for us, they decided to attack from the front first. Now we're going to assign most of our villagers onto food so we can get these knights out. And once you collect all your relics, you can have your monks stay on the front line to keep healing your troops. And we can have this town center go get some more on the gold. See, 166 a minute. It goes up. It's got to start trickling in, and it'll go up to 200 a minute. We need food most now, so we can start training knights. So we're just going to put some more on food as they come in. We will build a market eventually, we just needed it. The reason I'm not building a blacksmith or arsenal at the moment is that while they'll be useful later, it's not strictly necessary now because we have every upgrade in the castle age that we can get. So every economic upgrade, every military upgrade. So there's absolutely 0 points in getting those buildings now. I feel like I've lost my second monk, which is concerning. Oh no, there he is. We're gonna go take this sacred site now. Once we get about 15 knights, we'll assault the front. Let's get a third stable because the food's about to start popping. Oh, that priest was blocked by my men, which is kind of annoying. Alright, with 21 on food, we shouldn't need any more. So we're getting another attack here. We should have more than enough to deal with it. Let's just have our crossbowmen take out the men-at-arms because they're anti-armor units. I want to keep the knights healthy. That's why I'm not having them help. We're also about to be pop-capped. So what we're going to do is I'm going to send a few villagers up here. And we're just going to build housing up here. And by doing so, we won't be pop-capped. Alright, so once we get 14, we'll start hitting the trade area. And from there, we'll just start waypointing them. And we're going to have some spares still go there because the armies that we're going to deal with there are massive. Gonna have our monk go up here. Now, you could go for this sacred site, but the enemy does go for it, so it's up to you if you want to take it or not. Alright, once the stone's done, move them to gold, and build a market here, so you can be prepared to trade resources. Now, you can use your market to send traders over here. We're not going to do that, just because the amount of gold we can get is a lot. So it's not strictly necessary. Get a few more men-at-arms over there.
King John's men discovered that the castle was being resupplied by a stream of traders. They had the opportunity to weaken the rebellion.
So once you collect that chest, you'll have a lot of resources come in. Now, I'm actually going to build a keep very early here. We can always buy stone later for more. That should be the last amount of knights that we need. Got a lot of food. That'll be good to get enough for advancing in the next stage. Alright, so with the rest of our gold, we are going to take up with the Windguard Palace, which is an amazing landmark, which lets us train an army for the low cost of 500 resources. And that army we get out of it is 1 man-at-arms, 1 archer, 1 spearman, 1 knight, and 1 trebuchet. And that trebuchet alone is worth that cost. Now, the reason we also want to get a keep now, too, is we want to get the enclosures upgrade ASAP, because once we run out of sheep, we're going to have to get a lot of farms, and it'll help us also produce more gold again. Now, the English also have a unique tech called Shattering Projectiles for the trebuchet, which lets them act like pseudo-mangonels. A little slower because of how far they attack, but it's still a thing you can consider. As you can see, there's a lot more horsemen coming in now. Get them armor clad upgrade for your men-at-arms. You've already got burning oil, so your burning oil does work against these horsemen. And these men-at-arms, even though they're not doing anything now, they are defending this passage from any side attacks that can potentially happen. And we're going to need them later anyway for the final assault, which I would highly suggest being maxed before you do it. Just because it's going to be a long slog. As you can see, this is what we're dealing with. So we're dealing with a lot of enemies, and these secondary objectives are helping us with that. We've got 2 more traders to go. We're not going to need these stables anymore. We only need 1 for the last upgrade. So you can start researching the knights, start training from the Windguard, get the enclosures upgrade from your keep. Can we stop the traders?
With the traders eliminated, the king's army had struck a blow to the rebels in the castle.
So try to stay near where the monks are just so you heal. So you can see they've started surrendering.
The rebel commander discharged his weakest fighters,
and this will help us for the secondary objective over here.
What little food remained. Fearing further descent against his rule, King John ordered safe passage for the surrendered rebels away from Rochester.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring our knights through here.
Discovered the farmlands that supplied the rebels.
And get the network of citadels and arrow volley upgrades.
If the rebels lost access,
and we're going to start building more barracks.
Some of them would be forced to flee.
So by doing this, we can start training our army. Keep training from the Windguard Palace as well. Like I said, it's 100 food, 100 wood, and 200 gold. And then, like I said, the trebuchet alone isn't worth that much. So, and the reason why we want to attack from the south is that so we can avoid their walls and stop our knights being hurt. Go for any economic upgrades you wish to get. Trade resources, you've got plenty of it. So get whatever you need. Might as well do something with all those resources. See, trebuchet. Move our monk back here. Start getting our military upgrades as well. Now with our knights gathered again, just go straight for the mills. Ignore every enemy that's guarding the mills. Just destroy the mills. That's all you need to do. With the elite upgrade done, we can finally get rid of this stable. We're going to get the blacksmith up here, as well as the arsenal. Start training our units. As you can see, there's all our food supply drive up. Now, you do benefit from mills as the English. I would not worry about it. You're going to have plenty of resources anyway, so just don't bother with them. You can if you want. Alright, now that we're close, let's start hitting these mills.
Ready to go.
Because the siege is absolutely bonkers in this game. Move on to the next one. There is nothing over here. You actually can't move units over that bridge. I've tried. But it doesn't let you. We don't want veteran crossbows, we want veteran archers. Just train what you can. Like, once the mills start burning, you can just leave. Alright, now pull them back. Our knights staying alive can just be to our benefit.
With the farms alight, King John's chokehold on the rebels
And get,
was
like I said,
tightened.
whatever upgrades you need.
Cut off from all hope of resupply, more of the rebels were forced to abandon the fight.
You can build your own siege works if you want to train trebuchets on their own. I would just rely on the Windguard Palace, personally. 5 trebuchets will be more than enough.
You ready for Hestus?
Hestus are coming.
Alright. And once this gold mine itself dries up, we're going to just move to this one over here. Just keep training the units as required. You can get a university, but really the only thing you can benefit from a university is more cavalry upgrades. Get siege works for your trebuchets to have a little extra armor against fire attacks, which is like the torches and such. We're nearly pop cap 2, and once we are, we're going to move forward. I'm going to sell some wood for stone as well, because I want to build a keep at the front. We need to get close lumber camps.
Hestus are coming.
It's annoying. Alright. So we're gonna get melee armor and melee attack. See, those resources just trickling in is very handy to have. We didn't want to garrison those units, but yes. Get shattering projectiles to help your trebuchet. It is nice to have like a makeshift mangonel. You're not gonna really rely on them like that for this mission. But again, it's just something nice to have. So now that we're nearly pop capped, we're gonna assign our waypoints further up, and we're gonna try to get a keep built so we can get our own network of citadels benefits. A bunch of these guys, move them up. Build a keep. And with your trebuchets, attack the siege towers. Because we're going to use them to climb those walls to use for our advantage. We're going to get the armor of the enemy. And a lot of my knights got speared. Doesn't really matter. They're just there for shock power right now. And once those once that keeps up, we're gonna build forward barracks, such up here. Bring our units back. Now we're just gonna break the front door. See, a trebuchet from here costs 900 resources.
Rochester's outer wall crumbled.
Alright, once your walls
the
crumbled, get in there. Try to get your archers up onto the wall. And you want to get rid of these towers so they lose their bonus. Otherwise we have to deal with that. As you can see, here comes the army again. Those men-at-arms should be enough to take care of them. But yeah, just keep training, keep training. You've got the resources, keep training. And that's all you gotta do. You gotta force yourself in. Try not to have your trebuchets attack the walls because you want to benefit from them. Just attack the sides. And have your men-at-arms keep advancing in to take out their archers on the wall. And then move your archers up. Let's get some archer ranges out now. There. We destroyed part of the wall. Bloody trebuchets. Yeah, just have your trebuchets start destroying the buildings inside too. Just keep moving them in, keep moving them in, keep moving them in. Trade resources as required. We're going to make use of our trebuchets for shattering projectiles. If you feel like you're not making progress, you can just have your troops mass up. You want to keep pushing forward. So we want to get our archers up here, where they can distract the cavalry that's inside the keep. There's a lot more in there. Careful, because they'll also have fire archers, like fire arrows on their archers, so you don't want your trebuchets to be attacked by them if you can help it. See, we're making some good progress. Alright, now we're going to move our trebuchets close in. We're just going to destroy the houses so they can get in there, so they can squeeze in. Have a campfire to help heal your archers that are on there. And don't send your trebuchets in without an escort because they'll keep sending raiding parties in. So once you have more escorts, that's when you want to escort them in. Alright, so don't attack the building, attack the enemies. Move the trebuchets up here. Take out that last stone wall tower. Training those units. Alright, move them in. Get rid of that spring hold too, because they're anti-siege, so you want to get rid of them as quickly as you can. Alright, now we focus down the keep, and once the keep starts burning down, you win. That's it. Just keep training. Non-stop. Keep hitting the keep. Fine. And as long as they're on the walls too, they'll get the extra range so they can help defend the trebuchets. So while they got 2-2 upgrades, we've got 3-3. Plus our men-at-arms have a lot more armor too when they get into the fight. They have 6-6. And we're about to win. It's on fire. There we go. GG.
The great keep at Rochester fell at the hands of the King's army, securing both the castle and the route to London. While the fight for England raged on, a desperate King John clung to the throne.
Alright, so that's it for this mission, guys. Join me next time for the final mission, and the final level of the at least for the Norman campaign, obviously, which is the Second Battle of Lincoln. And from there, we'll be moving on to the 100 Years' War, then the Mongol Empire, then the Rise of Moscow, because that's how the Old Order was. I'll probably try to get the Second Battle of Lincoln done before the new season starts. Mind you, I haven't even played the new season online. It's something I might want to do. But yeah, I might just wait for the next season, personally. If you enjoyed, join my Discord to let you know when I go live on stream. I play a lot of games there. Otherwise, you can also just follow me on Twitch. I've just hit 700 followers, thanks to everyone who's kind enough to follow me there. Help me get 1,000, guys. I really want to hit 1,000. I don't think I'm going to hit my goal of 1,000 this year, which kind of sucks, but I would appreciate it. I also do bi-monthly Age of Mythology marathons where I play through the entire game, which usually takes like 16-hour streams. So if you're interested in that, they happen bi-monthly. You can always come check me out there. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys for the Second Battle of Lincoln.